3 months. After 3 months, it will be apparent that rescue isn't coming. Governments won't restructure. After such a long natural disaster, any government that shows up in your city will not be there in a friendly helping capacity. It will be more feudalistic, community against community as they compete for natural resources and remaining resources. You're stuck where you are and may be subject to whatever jurisdiction rule holds the most power. You'll likely no longer be in a populous area. Either you left or they left. The death toll from a prolonged shtf situation can only be estimated, but even in the low estimates, fully 1/3 of all the people will not survive in the first 90 days. Gone will be the elderly and anyone with a significant medical condition, those receiving medical treatment, or anyone in fragile health. Expect others to die from violence, starvation, dehydration, illness, travel, and exposure to the elements. The reality is that most people can't walk 10 miles, find food or water, or have the knowledge and skills to survive outside the fragile systems they rely upon. The world will look very post-apocalyptic, and either small communities will band together and rebuild by sharing labor, knowledge, and resources, or it will remain very fragmented. By now, you contribute something to the sustainment of your network community, and your community may have established trade or alliances with other communities. As much as it is common to think that as a prepper, you'll be able to go it alone, the reality is that you'll need a community to survive unless you're completely off-grid in the wilderness. For most preppers, that type of wilderness survival isn't a possibility. For most, survival will depend on the cooperation of others. Understand how it breaks down to understand how to survive. There will be no electricity, no water, no hospital, no government, dead telephones, and no internet in a prolonged grid-down situation. Know your location and assess your place before you find yourself in such dire straits. Ensure you have paper maps and know the areas of nuclear power plants and dams which may also fail. Knowledge is power, so having police scanners, radios, television, CB radio, ham radios, and some word of mouth will be critical. Any information you can obtain from these resources will be useful. Running water will stop, pump stations will stop. Gravity-fed water, those big tanks on the hills you see, will continue to flow for a while, but they will run out since they are not being replenished. Fill the bathtub and every container you have, as water flow may stop. Water heaters typically hold around 40 gallons of water, so you may need to tap this resource to sustain yourself. You'll need the absolute minimum of at least 90 gallons of water per person to get you through the first 90 days. That includes all drinking, washing, and cooking. You simply cannot survive on less than that. If feasible, strategize and implement a rainwater collection system. From day one, start rationing your food and water. Don't be a healthy fat person after people have suffered for a month. You will be alerting people. The same is true for cooking food. Make sure the scent isn't carrying, or you will attract others. You will need months of food. Most view this as caloric needs alone, but make sure you're looking at the nutritional qualities of the food. Understand that if you're hunkered down, you will not be burning a ton of calories. If you're on the move, you will be burning lots of calories, but will be unable to carry all the calories you need for a journey of a week or more. Ensure that you have 90 days of pet food on hand, and remember their water needs are different. They can drink rainwater without ill effect. Cash will only have an initial value. After the first couple of weeks, water, food, and durable goods will be of more importance. Bartering will hold more value in a prolonged or indefinite collapse. Supply chains will stop. The just-in-time delivery system with lean inventories will collapse relatively swiftly. Supply trucks will cease to deliver. Expect stores to be looted before the end of the first week. Take advantage of any supply handouts for appearance and necessities, but don't sacrifice your safety if they turn into chaotic mobs grabbing resources. Even if you don't need the food or water, you can trade for items you need like winter coats, blankets, or other critical items. Prepping for a national disaster that will last more than 90 days may seem extreme, but it should be your minimum goal. If you can survive the first 90 days after a collapse of that magnitude, you'll likely be able to survive the long haul and make it to the rebuilding phase. A return to the way things were before a collapse of that magnitude just isn't a possibility after 90 days. Survival is possible, but you'll inevitably have to rely upon your community and your networks. Apart from the items you've stored up, your significant assets will be your knowledge that you can bring to your community.